he hated when a hunch became a reality. Liam Scott walked through the bar of the beach hotel and spotted his friend and colleague, Alec Buchanan, sitting outside on the veranda. The stars were so bright in the vast Honolulu sky that the tiny lights strung overhead between the palms were almost redundant. Alec had changed from his work clothes and was wearing a pair of cargo shorts, worn-out loafers, and an old t-shirt that was so faded the name of the 5K charity race it was promoting was illegible. He was leaning back in his chair with his legs outstretched, holding a beer, and watching the surf's hypnotic ebb and swell. He looked as though he was a tourist on the tail end of a long, relaxing vacation, and not an agent who had just completed one of the most intense investigations of his FBI career. Liam hadn't changed out of his suit yet. When he reached Alec, he took his phone from his pocket and laid it on the table, then removed his jacket and tie and draped them on the back of the rattan chair before unbuttoning his collar.
"I ordered you a Guinness," Alec told him.
Liam dropped into the chair.
"Thanks. I could use one. Looks like we should have this wrapped up tomorrow, just as long as Mayer doesn't get cold feet."
He tipped his bottle to Liam in salute and said,
"I appreciate your coming in on this case. I don't think we could have located Mayer without you and your international connections. If Mayer's testimony brings down Dmitry Volkov and his syndicate, that's all the thanks I need. I was surprised we got him to turn so quickly. I thought he'd hold out longer. He's no spring chicken. I guess the thought of the rest of his life in maximum security was enough of an incentive. Where is he now?" "The team's helping him pack up, and they'll be moving him into a safe house. If they can keep him under wraps long enough, Volkov and his army of lawyers won't be able to line up a defense. They'll never suspect that Mayer is going to testify against his old partner."
A waitress appeared and set a glass of the murky, dark brew in front of Liam. She was wearing a yellow bikini. A colorful scarf tied around her waist created a wrap that was so short it barely covered her firm little derriere. She wore no shoes, and Liam eyed her long, tan legs appreciatively. "Is there anything else I can get you?" she asked him.
"No, thank you,"
Liam answered. She lingered for a moment and slid her gaze up and down his body. She then gave him a seductive smile and said, "If there's anything I can do, anything, you just let me know, all right?" Liam and Alec watched her saunter back to the bar. She took her time to make sure the men got a good look at her attributes. Alec gave Liam's leg a nudge with his foot.
"I think that was an invitation. You might find Honolulu is a very friendly place after all."
Liam laughed.
"I'm leaving early tomorrow. I think a good night's sleep is what I need."
He lifted the glass to his lips and took a couple of gulps.
"When are you going home?" "I'll fly to Chicago on Friday. Reagan's birthday is on Saturday. She doesn't expect me home until next week, and I want to surprise her." "I don't get it. Reagan is beautiful and smart and funny and sweet. Why that perfect woman married you, I'll never know." "You're right. She is perfect. Finding Reagan was the best thing that ever happened to me." "You're a lucky man," Liam said.
Alec nodded.
"Yes, I am. What about you? Aren't you about ready to find the right woman and settle down?" "Settle? Now that's the operative word. Why would I settle when I see marriages like yours and Reagan's? No, I don't have any notions of settling down. Work keeps me moving. Besides, I'm not naive enough to think there's another perfect woman out there."
He let out a heavy sigh, envisioning the days of travel ahead of him. He was off to Brussels in the morning to consult on a smuggling case. Then he was expected in Singapore by the end of the week, and finally back to D.C. before the end of the month. He knew how important the work he did for the FBI was, and he'd never been one who wanted to stay in one place long enough to put down roots, always on the move, going wherever the need arose. But lately there was a restlessness in him, a feeling he couldn't exactly identify.